I don't have any Wi-Fi right now, so I'm gonna try and make Minesweeper in the next hour, and the timer has already started, so let's begin by making a board. We'll just set this to like air for now, just so we can get like a rough size. I guess that's fine. We can go a little bit bigger maybe. So I guess we can just set this to white concrete, and then maybe we do a trim. Okay, so now we need to make a little function that's going to assign all of the mines in the entire board, and then spread markers throughout it so that we can keep track of them. Alright, so this function should spread out markers throughout this entire square. So let's see if that worked. And it didn't, it only spawned one. Crap. I guess we can just assign, I don't know, 20 random mines. That probably seems fine. So now when I press the button, it should hopefully create 20 random mines and set their positions to blue wool. And it didn't do that. Hang on, why didn't it do that? Okay, so the problem was that I was dumb, and this should work. There we go. So 20 random pieces of wool will have been set. I'm just gonna pause for a moment to explain how Minesweeper actually works for those of you who might not know. So these wool blocks on the board represent the randomly placed mines generated at the start of the game. The player's goal is to find all of these mines without detonating any of them. And they're able to do that because the game shows them the number of adjacent mines next to any particular block. And using that information, the player can figure out where the mines are and how to avoid them, sort of like Sudoku. Now we need to work on the actual functionality, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab like a spawn egg. This looks like a pretty good spawn egg to use. And that spawning is going to symbolize where we want to dig, so it'll clear a big area around that spot. The first step in doing this was to create a scoreboard so that I could store how many mines were nearby to any given block. Next, we had to actually store that data with a couple commands so that the game can access it whenever it needs to. This part ate into my time pretty substantially, but I did eventually get it all working. So now if we press this button, we should see, there we go. These are the number of mines. So the most number is 3 different markers, which have 3. There's a bunch with 2, and there's a bunch with 1. Alright, so we have just under 40 minutes left, and now we need to make the system where we can actually dig up certain spots and reveal all of the areas around it that are mine-free. So we'll start off by just detecting when there's a stray, and then when that happens, we can run a function. Okay, so now when we place down a stray spawn egg, there we go, we just get a detection thing in the chat that says mine here so that we can kind of see that we have placed this spawn egg. So what this should now do is make it so that if we place a stray down anywhere where there is a current mine, it should say that we lost in chat. And unfortunately, this did not work, which meant that I sort of had to go back to the drawing board with this one. This was becoming a pretty big problem because we were already halfway through our time and I hadn't even gotten any of the actual gameplay mechanics set up yet. Okay, so I just crashed the world because I was dumb, and I hope we didn't lose anything. I'm gonna see if it's gonna save, but what I basically did is I made a function that repeated indefinitely throughout the entire world. And that's not good, so hopefully this saves, and my timer is still going down, so let's see what happens. The game just really didn't want to save, so eventually I just force quit Minecraft and reopened the game manually. I'll have to make these silent. Oh, cool. Okay, so we got one on a mine. Nice, okay, so that works. Nice, okay, cool. Now that I had the mine detection system fully working, it was time to work on the actual meat and potatoes of the code. This part would essentially run whenever the player cleared a spot that wasn't a mine, or in other words, the most important part of the entire game. I spent about 10 minutes figuring out and coding this function before my first test. This is the kind of thing where if it doesn't work, it might crash my game again. Okay, well, it's setting the block to bare mushrooms. So when I do this, yeah, okay, that's definitely not working. It should remove all of the ones that don't have any mines near them. I might have gotten the syntax wrong. Crap, I can't look up the syntax on Wi-Fi. Oh no, I cannot debug this. I don't have time to debug this. At this point, things were getting really stressful. I only had a little bit over 15 minutes left to finish and less than half of the game complete. But I was committed to getting this done in the 1-hour time limit that I'd set for myself. And just when I thought that I might have to give up on this entire project because of this one unfixable bug, I had a realization. Why are there none with 0? Okay, I figured it out. Crap. Okay, well that's a start. I think it just did all of them everywhere. Why doesn't it do that in the normal one? This challenge was striking me with one blow after another, and this shows why it's not fun to code on a time crunch. But you had best believe that I was determined. Okay, I'm thinking maybe it's because I did all the corners as well, and I'm just supposed to do these edges. No, that doesn't fix anything. Does that even make it worse? Oh no. Maybe I just have to add more mines. I'm not in a good mental state right now for this challenge. My mind is so frazzled. I changed the amount of mines to 50, so we'll see if this fixes it. It doesn't. It really, there's a lot more, but it doesn't fix it. Do I need more? I feel like I just need more. Like, I'm gonna add 100. Okay, so there's 100 now. I don't know if this is gonna... Okay. You know what? We're gonna go with this. I have like 10 minutes. I need to get the rest of the functionality in. Now that I had the most important part of the challenge over, I was feeling a lot less stressed. Yes, there was still a lot left to go and not very much time to do it, but I was confident that I could get it all done in the time that I had left. Okay, I think this is sort of working. My basic plan was to have the numbers of how many mines are nearby represented by different colors of stained glass. So for example, yellow would mean 1 mine nearby, orange would mean 2, red would mean 3, and so on. So if that's the mine, that means this is safe. What? This should be displaying 2. This should be displaying 2. Okay. Okay, this makes so much sense. It wasn't counting the corners. Okay, so now 100 mines is way too many. Okay, so this should be 20, so... Okay, so maybe more than 20. And the glass thing still isn't working. Wait! Oh my god, okay. I think I figured out an issue. So what I was basically doing is I was only doing brown mushroom blocks on the blocks that did not have any mines adjacent to them, but that's not how the actual game works. In the actual game, if there are things that don't have mines adjacent to them, it still like uncovers those. It just doesn't uncover... I don't know how it works then in the actual game. I think it uncovers all of them. No, but... What does it uncover? Because you can still click on things, so it doesn't uncover everything else. But since I had no time to waste sitting around and thinking about this, I decided to just uncover the nearby brown and yellow tiles because that was what was fastest. Okay, that's a good start. And then, so let's see if I can actually use the logic to figure this out. These all have 1 nearby, so this one has 1 nearby, which means this one is a mine. I have to do the marker. Crap, I need to get the marker done. In addition to digging up tiles, the player can also place down a marker to mark where they think the mines might be placed so that they don't forget. And with under 4 minutes left, this detail had completely slipped my mind. Since I was already using a stray spawn egg for one mechanic, I decided to go with a salmon spawn egg for this one. Luckily, I was able to mostly just copy and paste the code that I already had for the stray with a couple different adjustments, so it didn't take too long to get set up. Okay, so this should summon an armor stand at the current position when we do a salmon there. That just spawned a salmon. Oh no. No, don't spawn a salmon on the button! Okay, so let's say we want to mark this. Why? I think this is working now. So if I spawn a salmon here, nice armor stand, okay. Let's reload, let's try and play. But let's see if there's anything we can do. Okay, that's pink, which means there's a lot around it. This one is yellow. Okay, so this is a salmon, so we'll spawn that there. Armor stand. Okay, I think we have working Minesweeper. I think we might actually have working Minesweeper. Okay, if you hit a bomb, we need to explode. We need to summon a TNT. Go. Slash game rule do mobs. Oh, we're done. Alexa, stop. That's time. Since Minesweeper would be pretty anticlimactic without an explosive ending, I decided to take a couple extra minutes to add that in before I called it finished. Okay, so if this one has 2, which spot is not safe? Hey, if you think you might want to watch another one of those, here's one that YouTube recommends you. Also, I spend almost all of my free time on these videos, so if you're in the 96% of people that aren't subscribed, I ask you to subscribe. It's free and it helps me out more than you know.